Hola mi gente, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean and this is We Are Investing, a channel that's dedicated in investing and personal finance. On today's video, we are going to do a deep dive in Webull. We're going to be looking at Webull for your mobile device. So if you're new to Webull or interested in Webull, then this is definitely a video for you. Now this video is going to be the first video of a playlist. We're going to go over the basics. We're going to go over how to navigate through the application. The playlist in the future will also include much more detailed stuff, such as options trading on Webull, how to run a scanner, options trading strategies, how to buy and sell spreads, how to sell calls, how to sell puts, all kinds of things. So if you're interested in learning more on how to be a really good trader and investor by using Webull, then I highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload more videos, smash that like button to help with the YouTube algorithm, and keep an eye out on that Webull investing playlist. Also, quick disclaimer, I am part of Webull's influencer program, and because I am part of this program, I am able to offer you an exclusive referral link that if you sign up with Webull and deposit any amount, you can get up to $9,000 worth of free stock. If you deposit $100 or more, then you're helping out this channel, so please do that if you can. I highly appreciate it. With that being said, I just want to let you know that I'm not being paid to make this video, and everything that I say on this video is my honest opinion. I would not lie to you guys just to get paid by Webull. These are my honest thoughts when it comes to Webull, and we're going to go over all of them in today's video. Now, before we actually go over how to navigate through the application, there are some benefits that Webull has that I think it's best for me to just list them off right now so that you understand what are some of the true benefits in Webull before we get into some of the more detailed stuff and how to actually do some of this. So probably the biggest benefit with Webull, it's $0 commission in stocks and also with options, which is huge. If you want to be an options trader, paying $0 in commission is very, very tempting. Another huge thing with Webull, and this is probably one of the best brokerages in the market regarding extended hours trading, is the flexibility and the amount of hours that you can actually buy and sell stocks. Options trading, you're not going to get anything outside of market hours, no matter what brokerage you use. But with stocks on Webull, you can start trading at 4 a.m. On Robinhood, you can't start trading until 9 a.m. That is a 5-hour difference. So when everybody's asleep, you can still buy and sell options with Webull. And that's a huge advantage if you are a trader or if you just want to be able to purchase stuff while you're sleeping through limit orders. So Webull definitely a huge advantage with that extended hours trading. Some other benefits with Webull when you stack it up to its competitor in Robinhood is Webull allows you to short stocks. You can't do that in Robinhood. The charting on Webull is far more advanced. You can put moving averages. You can take a look at the RSI. You can take a look at the MACD. You can take a look at VWAP. You can take a look at other indicators. You can take a look at candlesticks. You can take a look at time frames like a 1-minute candlestick, a 5-minute candlestick, a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month. There are many options. And you can also compare stocks. You can overlay charts and take a look at multiple stocks at one time in one chart with Webull. So if you have two companies, let's say you're looking at Ford, but you're also considering General Motors, and you want to take a look at both of those stocks in one single glance, you can do that in Webull. Webull also has a desktop version, and in the desktop version, you can have a stock scanner or screener, whatever you want to call it. So basically, you can take a look at multiple stocks, create a watch list off of your scanner, and help free up time or speed up the process. Something very beneficial to beginners is Webull has paper trading and simulated trades. You can test strategies, you can learn how to invest without actually using your own money through paper trading, which is probably the first step a lot of investors and traders should take before actually using their own money. Another benefit with Webull is they have this calendar where you can see what earnings are coming up, some economic data, and basically what to expect in the upcoming month. You can also take a look at the global markets, how stocks are trading over in Hong Kong, how they're trading over in Europe, how they're trading here. You can take a look at major indices as well on Webull. And something very unique to Webull is their community tab. They have a bunch of videos and tradings on there that will help you be a better investor and or trader. And also, it's like social media. It's like social media. You can see what people are saying about a stock. You can comment and you can have a dialogue with other investors and traders on a particular stock as well. And you can use this to help gauge sentiment. That about wraps it up for some of the benefits up front. We're going to dive into some of these things in more detail when we approach them in the application. The first thing that I want to start with is how to paper trade and simulated trading on Webull. So to get to paper trading, when you open up the application, you're going to hit that icon in the top right, you're going to scroll down and you're going to hit paper trading. I believe the default value is $1 million. You can buy and sell stocks in this paper trading. You cannot paper trade options. And it's just fun to see what would happen. Let's pretend that we're rich and throw a ton of money in one particular stock and see what happens. On the private Discord server, somebody was talking about NMDM and was super bullish on NMDM. It was probably because Kathy Wood and ARK Invest were buying a ton of it at that point. And I was like, all right, well, what would happen if I put a bunch of money in NMDM? I wasn't bullish on the stock. I just wanted to play the scenario out. And we could see that I put around $100,000 in NMDM, and now I'm down $45,000, negative 44.92%. But when you get into the paper trading, it's real easy. You can just hit trade, find the stock, submit your order, and it will get filled, and then you would have it in your positions. You can close out of orders. You can take a look at your performance. You can do a lot through this paper trading. Now, outside of paper trading, Webull also has simulated holdings. Now, with paper trading, you can't go back in time. So whatever the price is right now, that's the share price that you have to buy or sell the stock at. With simulated holdings, you can go back in time and you can test out strategies. For instance, let's say that you're bullish on one stock. Let's just say it's Tesla. And let's say that you wanted to see what would happen if every single month you put $100 into Tesla on the first of the month. Well, you can play out that strategy. You can say, let's go back a year, and at the beginning of every month, I'm going to add $100. What would my position be worth today? What would my gains be? You can do a lot of stuff with simulated holdings. Now that about wraps it up for paper trading and simulated holdings. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on how to buy or sell stocks in those functions because we're going to talk about how to buy or sell stocks with real money, and the process is going to be the same. Now, the next thing that we're going to cover on this video is I'm going to show you how to chart on Webull. This is going to be very important for the future, and I think this is going to open up a ton of doors, especially if you're coming from a brokerage like Robinhood where there is like no charting. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to pick a stock, and I'm just going to pick a stock that I'm familiar with. We're going to pick Uber. So we type in the ticker symbol, or you can type in the company name. In this case, the ticker symbol is the company name, UBER, and then we're going to click on that. Now you're going to see that there are some lines here. These are price points. We're going to delete them. I'm going to basically make this chart very basic. Now, this is probably a chart that you're very familiar with. It's a line chart, and it's broken out by 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, 5 year, or max. This is what it looks like on Robinhood as well. If you click on 1 year at the top, you're going to see the share price. Then you're also going to see the 1 year performance. If you click on 3 month, you're going to see the share price. That is not going to change, but you're also then going to see the last 3 months performance. This is a quick way to see how the stock has performed in a given time period. Also, some information, if you click to the right of where the share price is, you will get some very important information. You get the market cap, you'll get the 52-week high, the 52-week low. That is the yearly high share price and the yearly low share price. You get a price to earnings ratio if the company has one. You'll get it for the trailing 12 months and forward looking. Essentially, what would the price to earnings ratio be 12 months out from now? If you take the earnings 12 months out from now, get the price to book, price to sales, you get the shares outstanding, you get the free float market cap, you get the free float, you also get the next earnings date estimate, Or if the X earnings is known, you will get that date for definite. You will get the definite date of the earnings. Also, when there is news regarding the stock, usually it comes up at the top or some breaking news, but you can also click on the news tab and see some news regarding the stock. But heading back to the charts, because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, this is the basic chart. These are the line charts. And this is also included in Robinhood. But where Webull separates itself is how you can also see some other stuff. So if you click down below to the right, you see that there is that line. What we want to take a look at is candle, because this is how traders and investors should be analyzing stocks. They shouldn't be using line charts. They should be using candles, because candles are far more better. You're going to pick an much more precise entry and sale price. So in Webull, if you pinch, you can zoom in, zoom out, and you can also use your finger and swipe left and right. The time frame of each candle is going to be determined by the time frame in the bottom left here. Each candle at this point is for 1 minute. But we can take a look at a 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. Or we can also take a look at the daily candles by hitting the daily. We can also take a look at the weekly candles by hitting the weekly. Now, a very common chart is the daily candle. Now, if you click on the expand button here, you're going to get a more in tune chart. And here we can take a look at the daily candle, and we can also select a time range. For instance, if we wanted to take a look at the 1 year, 1 day chart, we can do that by clicking that. And then when we zoom out, what we're going to see is this chart is going to be for the last year, and every candle is going to represent 1 day. Now, if we go back and we go back to the main screen, there are some other things that we can add as well. If we click on the bottom right, right next to where it says negative 5.45, and we click on that, we can add indicators to the chart. What we have right now is the moving average, but we can add the exponential moving average, and we can add all of them we want. We can add the moving average, we can add VWAP. For now, I'm just going to include the moving average. And then the subchart, we can add some things as well. We can add the MACD, we can add the RSI, we can add volume, we can also add some other things. Now, me personally, I like to see moving averages, I like to see the MACD and the RSI. So now that we have that set, we can go back to the chart, and you can see that down below we have the MACD, we have the RSI, and we have the moving average. If we click on the moving averages, we can then change the settings. So we can change what moving averages we have shown. I like to take a look at the 200 day, I like to take a look at the 100 day, and I like to take a look at the 50 day. I can change the colors as well, and I can add another moving average if I wanted to. Let's say I wanted to add the 150 day. Then we can go back. I can click out, and then you can see that I have the moving averages there on the screen. If I zoom out, we can see that Uber is below all of the major moving averages. It is under on the MACD, and the RSI is close to being oversold. It's at 30, and this is for the daily candles. If I wanted to take a look at a closer graph and say, what is Uber doing in the 1 hour candles, I can switch over to the 1 hour and I can zoom out. And I can see that Uber set a new low at a price of $28.28. And today it had a nice day. We have some green candles, but it looks like we hit a resistance. Now I can add some trend lines. I can draw on here as well. For instance, if I wanted to add that resistance line, all I have to do is click on the bottom right, the little squiggly line, click draw, then I'm going to add a horizontal line, and I'm going to put it right there around that resistance at around $32.33. And I can see that Uber is approaching that resistance, and that is a key point that I would love for Uber to break. Now this is a good segue into setting alerts. So what I can do is I can click on that little bell there. And basically I can say that if Uber is above $32.25, that I want an alert. So basically now I have an alert set. So if Uber approaches that resistance line, I will get a text from Webull saying that Uber got to that price and it's above $32.25. Some other things that you can chart here is if you take a look at this, there is somewhat of a downward trend. I can draw that as well. Now I'm just doing this real quickly with you guys here just to show you the capabilities of Webull, but I can essentially add that trend line. Now I can change the way it looks. I can add the different kinds of line styles. I can change the color. So if it hourly, I can use like let's say for H, I can use a gray for humo, which is basically smoke in Spanish. And then I have my trend line here as well. I can also add another line at the support and basically have that support clearly defined in my chart. So I click draw, I click horizontal line, I put it here as well. And also, let's say that I want an alert if Uber breaks below $28.28 because then the stock is breaking a new low and maybe I want a dollar cost average at that price. So basically, if Uber is down 8% or gets below $28.28, that I want to get a text from Webull because then I can reevaluate the situation and maybe at that point I add more to my position in Uber. Now, some other things that you can draw, we're not going to do them all, but if I go to the drawings, you can see that you can draw trend lines, horizontal lines, vertical lines, extended, you could draw rays, you could draw parallel channels, you can draw a polyline, you can do Fibonacci retracements, extensions, time zones, you can also measure things, you can add text, and you can do rectangles as well to help clearly define things that are of interest to you. You essentially can do most of the charting through your mobile device on Webull. You couldn't do any of this on Robinhood. So as far as technical analysis goes, on Webull, whether it's on your mobile device or on your computer, you have access to a lot of it. Now, it's obviously going to be way harder to do this on your mobile device because the screen is much smaller and it's harder to do things with your fingers on a touchscreen than using a mouse and a keyboard. But nevertheless, you have the capabilities of doing it here. Now, one other thing that I want to show you is how you can compare stocks on Webull. For instance, let's say that I wanted to compare Uber to a competitor, let's say Lyft. The way I can quickly do that and to see the performance of the two stocks over each other is I can click on that little chart toolbox. I can click on compare. I'll type in the other stock. So I'll type in Lyft and I'll add it. And now I'm going to hit compare. Now I'm going to zoom out. Let's say that I want to see the comparison for the last year. And here I can see the overall performance. Now Uber is the lighter blue color, that's around negative 44%, and Lyft is the purple color, and that's down 43%. I can zoom in and take a look at the 5-day. Lyft is down negative 3%, Uber is down negative 9%. I can take a look at the 1-day. Lyft went up 6% today, Uber went up 7%. I can quickly compare the stock performance between two companies by using this compare function. Another thing you can do is you can take a look at dual charts. So instead of hitting that verse compare, we can hit that dual chart. And now I'm going to type in Lyft, and I'm going to now see the charts over each other. The top chart is obviously Uber, the bottom chart is Lyft. And here you can change the range as well, that 1 year, 1 day. And you can see that Uber is trading at a share price of $30.74, while Lyft is trading at a share price of $36.54. And their charts look very similar. Both of them are on a downtrend. Lyft is at a double bottom, while Uber set a lower low. There is so much to go over when it comes to charting on Webull that I'm probably going to have to do a separate video diving deeper into this stuff, but I think I covered a lot of it, and I think I gave you enough information at least to get started with charting on Webull. The next thing that I want to do is show you how to research a company and stock on Webull. So obviously, part of your research is going to be technical analysis and taking a look at the charts and doing everything that we just did. But you also need to take a look at the fundamentals, take a look at financials, take a look at many other things regarding a company to determine if the stock is overvalued or undervalued. So the first thing that you can do, and probably the easiest thing to do, is you can first start by taking a look at the news. Now, when you go to the ticker and you have the chart, all you have to do is hit that news tab. And here you will see the public opinion for today regarding Uber. 44% was bullish, 22% neutral, 33% bearish. You can also take a look at a lot of news headlines regarding Uber stock. And you're going to get information from a lot of different news websites. As you can see here, we have Benzinga, MarketWatch, Dow Jones, Reuters, Bazinga, Dow Jones, FX Empire, Zacks. There's a lot of different news websites that publish within Webull. In addition to that, what I mentioned in this video earlier on is the social media function of Webull. And that's going to be shown in the comment section. Uber right now is ranked number 7 in the popularity list. You can open the popularity list and see which stocks are most popular right now. And you can see that the most mentioned stock is IMPP, CEI, and AMC. Those are the top 3. If we go back to the comment section, we can take a look at stock sentiment. We can see that Uber is 60% bearish, 40% bullish. We can also take a look at comments from individuals, from other retail investors. And I'm going to say something, these comment sections, they can get quite gnarly. There's a lot of very stupid things that are said in the comment section. I would not use this as your primary source of information and news, but sometimes you can get a nice little laugh by going through the comment section. Something else is you can take a look at the analysis tab, and there's a lot of information here as well, quick information that might be helpful. The first thing is you can take a look at the analyst ratings for Uber. And it's based off of 47 analysts. It's a buy rating. 51% say buy, 38.3% say strong buy, 8% hold, 2% underperform, and no one has a sell rating for Uber. You can also take a look at the average price targets, the high end, the low end, and the average. The low end is $28. That's around where we are right now. The high end is $80. It's not going to let you know when these price targets were initiated, if they were reiterated or anything like that. You're going to have to go to a different website to do that, like TipRanks. But you're going to get a lot of the information real quick on Webull. You can also take a look at the cost distribution estimate. And this is basically volume at a share price. Which share price had the most amount of volume? And based on this graph, it's around $35. The peak was above that $34.19. I'm going to say that's around $35. That's where you saw the most volume at that price. There's also this support and resistance where it draws this. I don't ever use this. I like to draw my own lines on my charts and identify my own support and resistance lines. Now moving on to the next tab, that's the company tab. And this tab is super important when taking a look at the financials and fundamentals of a particular stock. You cannot do this quickly on other brokerages. So I really like the fact that Webull has everything here, and it's super easy and convenient to take a look at the financials of a company. For instance, right now we're in the company tab and we're at the financial segment, and we can take a look at Q4 total revenue, and we can take a look at Q4 net income. And it tells you year over year the increase or decrease that was for the company. For instance, Q4 we saw $5.78 billion in revenue for Uber, and that's up close to 160% year over year. Net income $892 million, up close to 192% year over year. You also get a look at the quarterly, you also get a quick graph of net income and total revenue for the last 5 quarters. This chart goes back to 2020 Q4. The blue is total revenue, the purple is net income. And we can see that net income was positive in 2021 quarter 4, but negative in 2021 quarter 3. You can also take a look at the profitability, the EPS, the year over year. So EPS was 0.45, 45 cents, and that year over year is an increase of 182%. You also get a graph showing you the EPS for the last 5 quarters. There's some other stuff as well: return on equity, ROE, the operation capability, the debt paying capability, the current ratios. You can also take a look at financial details. If you click on financial details in the bottom right, you're going to get more information and some more graphs as well. And what you can do is you can take a look at the income statement. You can take a look at net income, total revenue, operating income, and this is going to be for fiscal years. So now, instead of looking at it for the last 5 quarters, you're looking at it for the last 5 years. And even better, if you click on income statement, you are going to get the SEC filing right here. This is the 10Q or the 10K because this is annual. You can also take a look at the 10Q and you can go through different quarters. You have all of the information right here in front of you: revenue, net income, operating income. This is the income statement in the SEC filing. You can take a look at the annual as well. You can go back years and see what was stated in the 10K. This information being so easy to read on your phone makes Webull one of the best brokerages, especially on your mobile device, for actually researching a company and getting information. Going back, you can also take a look at the balance sheet. You can take a look at assets versus liabilities. Does this company have a ton of debt? Are they going to go bankrupt? You can take a look at the balance sheet for the last 5 years, and if you click on it, the same thing. This is the information that is displayed in the SEC filings. You basically have it in your mobile device under this application, and you don't have to go looking for the SEC filings. And then you can also take a look at the cash flow statements as well. What is free cash flow? How are they doing? You can take a look at a lot of information here as well. Now, I will say, with my experience diving into some of these income statements, balance sheets, and cash flow statements, there is some information that is sometimes not displayed, and you are going to have to go to the SEC filings. But the information that is here is good information. It's quick information, and it gets the job done. When you go into deep dive analysis in a company and before you buy it and you just want to dot your I's and cross your T's, then it's probably best to take a look at the SEC filing. But to quickly research stuff, this is top notch. And let's say that you actually wanted to take a look at the 10K. Well, they make it really easy for you to do so. If you click on the press release, you can see the SEC filings, and you can see that the 10K is there right now. And you can just click on it, and now you have access to the 10K. You can scroll through, you can read the financial statements, you can read the actual document itself. Let's go back and see what else you can see. You can look at the S8. You can take a look at other SEC filings as well. And let's say we only wanted to take a look at financial statements like 10Ks and 10Qs. Well, we just hit that financial tab. If we wanted to see what insiders are doing and take a look at Form 4s, well, then we can take a look at that as well. And we can just click on it and it opens it up. And we can see that the latest Form 4 was for Tony West, who is a director or officer of the company. He added shares of Uber and he disposed of some as well. It gives you the SEC Form 4 right there. Super easy to read, super easy to find. It makes it very easy to research a company and do an analysis on the fundamentals and financials of a particular stock. And then the last thing in the company tab is the profile, and this will give you some information regarding the company, what industry they're in, some key executives, some shareholders, institutional values, insider values, and this is just a lot of information. Basically anything that you need regarding a stock, especially for your beginning analysis and probably all the way to the end in almost 90% of the cases, you can do it right here on your mobile device, and it's super easy to do. You can research a company to its fullest, laying in bed or on the sofa, on a plane, on a bus, on a train, on a bicycle. It doesn't matter. You can research a company to the fullest extent on Webull. Now, the next thing that I want to go over quickly is how to add a watch list. Let's say that you did technical analysis, you research a bunch of companies and you like them, but you just want to monitor them and see how they're doing. Well, you can go to your watch list tab. You're going to click on the three bars at the top left, and then you can add a watch list. Let's just say that we're going to add a watch list for this YouTube video test. We're going to hit save. Now, it's real easy to add symbols, to add stocks. You're just going to type them in. So we'll add Uber. We'll click on the little heart at the top and we'll add it to that watch list. You can have stocks on multiple watch lists. We'll go to the 10-year treasury. We'll add that to YouTube test. We'll add whatever we want. We can type in Tesla. We can add that to the watch list as well. In here as well, when you're looking for a new ticker, you can hit the top gainers and you can take a look at the top gainers for pre-market, after hours, 5 minutes. You can see what stocks are popping off right now or have been popping off within a certain time frame. We can take a look at the last 3 months and we can see that, wow, this company, this ticker CEAD is up 5,000% in the last 3 months. If we look at the 52 weeks, we can see that that same company is up 2,000%. If we look at the last 5 days, we can see that some companies like Nine are up 380% in the last 5 days. If we go back, we can also take a look at the calendar and we can see which companies have earnings coming up, which companies are paying dividends, and which companies are having stock splits as well. And this calendar is we can then search for today, we can search for tomorrow, we can search for this month, and we can see which companies are doing what, and we can see what's going on in the stock market, which companies have earnings, dividends, and splits. It's real easy to look on Webull. And from this calendar tab, if you want to add a stock to your watch list, all you do is hit that plus button. And then let's say SFIX has earnings coming up. We're going to add that to our watch list. We can create a new watch list and we can say upcoming earnings. We can hit save. I'm going to add it to upcoming earnings. Basically, I can take a look at stocks that have earnings in the upcoming month and stocks that I personally might be interested in. Let's see if there's another one here. Say Barnes and Nobles for the hell of it. Maybe I think people are going to start reading again. I can add this to upcoming earnings and add it to that watch list. Hit OK. And now it's added to my watch list. And if I go back by swiping left, clicking those 3 lines up top, come upcoming earnings watch list, and they're there for me to watch and see what's going on. In addition to that, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. When you search for stocks, you can also search for cryptos. And if you click crypto, it's going to show you all of the cryptos that are offered on Webull. And as you can see, there are a fair amount. You don't have your own wallet, so you don't actually own the crypto, but you can trade them. And you can also add screeners. And when screeners are saved, if you have one, you can just click on it, and then you'll see what stocks are in the screener. There is so much that you can do on Webull. I don't expect you to retain all of this information, but if you get anything from this video is that there is a ton that you can do. And it's honestly not that complicated. It just takes some time, but it's well worth it in my personal opinion. Now I'm going to show you how to buy and sell stocks on Webull. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Uber, and I'm going to make this very basic. I'll go over some of the other stuff in a more detailed video, but this is going to be for beginners, and we're only going to talk about stocks. So if we want to trade Uber, we need to open up a position, or we can short it, and you short a stock by just selling it before you actually have shares. So what we can do is we can hit trade. Now we're on the buy side, and we have a limit order. If I click on limit order, you can see all of the orders that are available, all the order types that are available on Webull. And we can see that we can actually do fractional shares on Webull as well. But essentially, the 2 types of buy orders that you're going to use is a market order or a limit order. 99.99, or let's just say 100% of the time, you're going to do a limit order. I highly do not recommend doing a market order. So we're going to click on limit. Now, there's a lot of other stuff. Like there are group orders, which I don't think people that first start are going to fully understand. I'll make a more detailed video on group orders, but let's just say a limit order. Now, a limit order is an order that you won't buy a stock until it's at or below a current price. So if Uber in after hours is trading at $30.82, but let's say you don't want to buy it at $30.82, you're okay buying it at $30.50. So you change the limit price and then you can add your quantity by plus or minus. If you click here as well, you can go half, three quarters, total. And this is based off of your buying power, how much money you have in your account. But let's just keep it at 1. Now your trading hours, you can include extended hours, which is 4 a.m. pre-market to 8 p.m. after hours. This is top of the line. Nobody else is going to beat this, and a lot of brokerages don't even come close to these extended hours. Or you can just select regular hours. The time in force is either day or good to cancel. When you have it set to day, when the extended hours are over for that day, this order is going to get canceled. If you have it good till canceled, this order is going to remain open until it gets filled or you cancel it. Then if you're ready to buy, you hit buy. You're going to confirm. If you are good, I'm not going to actually do this. You will get a screen. It's going to be saying that it's waiting to get filled. And then when it gets filled, you will get notified as well. Now to the sell side of things. Let's say you have shares in Uber, and you can do this from your position tab, or you can do it from here as well. And let's say that we want to sell Uber. But let's say we don't want to sell Uber at a price that's below the current price. If it was trading at $30.82, let's say that we don't want to sell Uber until it hits $1. So the process is the same, but you can also short a stock as well. So if I don't have any shares in Uber and I wanted to short it and I wanted to short the stock, I could sell it here. And I'm going to hit sell, and then you're going to see this order come up, and that's how you short a stock on Webull or how you close out of a position. Just remember that shorting a stock is selling a stock that you don't actually have, and to close out a position, you're selling stock that you do have. Now the order types are going to be the same. They're going to be limit. There's going to also be a stop and a stop limit and a trailing stop. So let's say that we have shares in Uber and we want to set a stop loss. Well, we can do that by setting a stop order or a stop limit order. A stop order is setting a stop price lower than current price. If market price drops to the stop price, a market sell order is triggered. So let's say that Uber is free falling and you have a stop order set at $28.50. Well, let's say it dips below $28.50, but it's falling so fast that it keeps on falling, and then you actually get your order filled at $25. That's a possibility with a stop. Whereas a stop limit is you set a stop price lower than the current price. If the market price drops to the stop price, a limit sell order is triggered. Here, you're going to identify two prices. You're going to identify your stop price and your limit price. So essentially, in this scenario, let's say that Uber falls to $28.50 and that's your stop price, but your limit price is $27. Well, if you can't get your order filled and Uber drops below $27, then you're not going to sell Uber. In this case, you can wait for Uber to rebound rather than selling it at a price that you think is way too low. And then the trailing stop loss is when market continues to increase, the stop price to sell follows or trails the highest price of a stock by a trail that you set. So let's say that you're in Uber and Uber is riding higher. It's going to the moon and beyond. And essentially you're okay taking some profits, but you don't want to sell right now because you still think that there's gas left in the tank and Uber can continue. Well, you can set a trailing stop loss. And you can either do it by a dollar amount. So let's say that if the stock was to drop from $1 from the high, you would trail out of this position or you would sell out of your position. You can also change this to a percentage, which is something that I recommend more because a dollar off $100 is far less than a dollar off a $10 stock. What you can do with a percentage is you can say if Uber was to drop 5% from its high, then trigger this stop loss and sell out of some positions, the quantity that you pick. And just know that trailing stop losses only work in market hours and they're only for days. So you have to continue to do this every single day. You can't do it good till canceled. Now, I have no idea how long this video ended up being. It's probably 30-40 minutes long. It's a super long video. We covered a ton. And like I said, there's going to be a playlist. We're going to dive into more things, believe it or not, when it comes to Webull. We'll dive even deeper into some more things as well. But the videos are going to be far shorter. It's going to be focused on one thing after another. But this was a huge tutorial on how to use Webull for beginners. Now, do not forget about those free stocks. When you use that referral link down below and you deposit any amount, but if you deposit $100 or more, I highly appreciate it because then we will get some of that, because then we will be rewarded by Webull. You can get up to $9,000 worth of free stocks. We talked about some of the benefits with Webull: extended hours, alerts, charting, shorting stocks, $0 in commissions in stocks and options, the calendar, the global, which we didn't even talk about the global stuff yet. I'll do that in a different video. The scanner, the compare charts, the paper trading. We went over how to get to the paper trading. We went over how to chart, how to throw on the moving average, the MACD, the RSI. We didn't even talk about VWAP. We talked about comparing charts. We talked about setting alerts. We also talked about how to research a stock. We went over how to go over the financials, the press releases, the SEC filings, the financial statements like the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statements as well. We went over how to take a look at what analysts are doing, what the institutional percentage is on a stock. We can take a look at sentiment, comments. We can take a look at so much on Webull. We also talked about how we can create a watch list, how we can take a look at stocks that are the top gainers. We can take a look at crypto stocks. We can take a look at stocks on our scanner. We can take a look at so much stuff. We can take a look at the calendar, what stocks are having earnings coming up, what stocks have dividends coming up, what stocks have stock splits coming up. We also talked about how to buy and sell stock, how to short stock as well. We didn't talk about options trading. And like I said, there's going to be more videos. So I highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, and take a look at that Webull playlist. There's also a Robinhood one. There's another one for economic data. We are going over a ton of stuff on this channel to make you a better investor and trader. So if you like that, smash that like button. Now, speaking of, since we are going to be making more videos on Webull, please comment down below on anything that you would like coverage on. I'm looking for more ideas. And if there is something that I think provides value to you, then I have no problem creating a video on that. Also, if you like the effort that I put out here and the time and you want to join the community, you can also join the Patreon. It gives you access to a private Discord server where I'm there every single day and there's 500 other investors. It lets you know what stocks I'm buying and selling. Other members also declare what stocks they are buying or selling on a dedicated channel called Member Activity. We also go over ideas together, we post articles, we brainstorm, we learn together, we grow together, and we make money together. A link to the Patreon is provided down below in the video description. Outside of that, if you are still watching this video, I thank you so much for your time. I hope that I was able to provide you good value. I'll catch you on the next video. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And this is We Are Investing, and together we are invincible. See ya.